Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me this morning. Just having a little quiet Sunday morning, first weekend back in Costa Rica. And just thought I would have a little bit of a video talking about the coming year and setting intentions. I've really been thinking about this, and this year is going to be a lot less about food and a lot more about the whole, a holistic approach to things, because, and I've mentioned this in a lot of videos, and I'm not changing what I'm eating, I'm not backing up of what I'm eating, I'm not changing my position on what I'm eating. If anything, I'm going to probably even be tighter with how I eat and be more mindful of what I'm putting into my mouth. But, the message I want to keep going over and over is don't get too caught up in the food part of it and spend all your time, oops, sorry about that, just obsessing about food. There's so much more to life. As I sat around and thought about what I wanted 2015 to be, how I would like to see it turn out if I have control, which I have no control over the big picture. I can only control my emotions, what I'm doing minute by minute. That's the only control I have, is in the right now. What happens down the road is, that's in the hands of God, fate, the universe, whatever. But I can only do the best I can to get to where I want to go. And that means, number one, a strong body. And that comes through the food too. But I've been doing this food thing pretty solid for a few years, and there's always tweaking to do, and there's always more to learn, holes to fill in, things to figure out, mistakes to make. I think I'm at a pretty good place right now. I think after the next 3 months, I think I know the next hole to plug in my diet. I've known it for some time. I just have to make sure I'm doing it all the time, and that's getting enough calories. But another aspect of a strong body is actually being strong. And I don't necessarily mean the show muscles or being all buff, blah, 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 or going into the gym and pushing a lot of iron. I'm talking about physical strength, like if all of a sudden it all went to hell and we're living off the land, or if we had to run after something, or run away from somebody, or if we had to do physical labor all day to be able to sustain ourselves. But just to be functionally strong, and that's the kind of workout that I'm going to be doing, and I will be doing a video probably today, or definitely in the next couple of days, about starting this new routine that I've talked about. I did a video a few months back, 2015 fitness challenge, and it's going to be all about progressive body weight training. So anyway, I'm going to do the video about that, but the thing that really appealed to me about this was the word just kept popping up amongst all these people that train like this, that don't train with free weights, that just train with their bodies, functional. It builds functional strength. It strengthens your ligaments and tendons, which really give you a strength. And doing so will protect you from injuries, especially places like your knees and your elbows and your shoulders, the joints, that get that wear and tear from going in the gym. So I want a strong body. So that will be my, my physical training, the base of my physical training, which will free me up a little bit more not to have to rely on yoga so much for also my physical. Now yoga is physical. I'm still going to approach it as hard as I can, safely, pushing myself, but I can kind of, now I'm getting the fitness and the exercise from another way. The yoga can be what I want it to be, just more of a moving meditation, a way of life, a lifestyle for me. But yeah, it'll be I'm planning on the yoga and body weight training and my heavy bag punching, just to kind of finish off, something that'll give me a little cardio. That'll just, I don't know, that hitting the bag is a good thing. It's good for your head, gets a little bit of frustrations out, hardens the body. Clear mind, that comes a lot from the food, and that will come more and more from continuing to eat clean and be clean. But I'm going to actually go a step further and try to, as I'm getting to 50, and I used to be a hypochondriac, and I don't have to worry about it in my body, but every time I forget something or I get a little foggy now, I start thinking, oh God, are these signs of early dementia or Alzheimer's or something? Now I'm probably being paranoid, but I do want to start, I poured booze down my throat for 30 years, and I sure that carried away just billions of brain cells, and I don't know if that's why I have some of the fogginess sometime. And it may just be normal stuff, but I want to start looking at some like little brain teasers and mental games that can kind of keep you alert. I'd love to start playing chess again. I would love to just do some things, besides clearing the mind, and also the meditation. I broke my streak. Somehow I just haven't been meditating. I've been blocked for a long time. Well, I meditated into the new year. I thought I'd be asleep before this clock struck 12, but I got on a train of thought about something, and this led to this, led to this, led to this, and I said, I'm going to meditate into the new year. So I meditated about 20 minutes or so, from just a little before midnight to after. So hopefully we'll get the mind clearer also through that, just quieting down the mind. I think a lot of my problem is mentally too, is I've always tried to multitask, and I'm starting to believe, a lot of people say that when you multitask, you just don't do any of the things right. And I think, it's my whole mentality of having 12 windows open on the computer, but always doing this. I think I need to just slow down, bring it all back in, and focus on things, and slow that monkey down. That's where the meditation comes in. You're just trying to slow that monkey down that's jumping around inside your head all day. And pure heart. Besides just being healthy, besides just knowing about this lifestyle and trying to share it with other people, it's about trying to be on point all of the time. Now, maybe you can't be on point all of the time, but trying to be as much as possible. Trying to consider people's feelings all the time, Sometimes, I don't think it's like I'm ever mean or rude to somebody, but sometimes I'm just less thoughtful. Sometimes I don't take the time when I see I could reach out to somebody, or I could say a word or two to somebody and perhaps, brighten their day, or at least make them feel a little bit better. Just being short with people sometime. I don't think I'm doing any major transgressions towards other people. Being more sympathetic, being more empathetic. Empathy is a hard thing for me because I just live so outside. Even my friends down here, and I say it, listen, I don't say it like people should come to living like me. I'm a strange person, I know that. So when it comes to empathy, that one's a little harder, because I just guess I have a harder time relating to the way other people live, because I live so differently. But I really want to work on that. I really want to work on being present with people, listening when they talk, being really focused on them, and just showing a little bit more love in general. And another part would be also to stop talking about it, stop sharing slogans on social media and YouTube, quit talking about helping people, and finding my way where I can do it. Even being somebody that doesn't have money to give to causes, there's got to be, some way that all of us can help out and make a difference on this planet. As I've mentioned before, feeding people. That's just something that I'm very interested in getting involved in. And but basically, those are just my ideas. Those are just kind of my intentions for the new year. People a lot of times even I thought about this. I kind of try to rebel against doing New Year's resolutions, but I was also thinking, some of them are. We still think by the calendar. And so many of these resolutions and things these improvements we always want to make are somewhat selfish. Now, there's nothing with bettering ourselves, but let's think of some of these resolutions as they apply to us helping the bigger picture. The world, our community, that family down the street, your town. Well, I've said community, but you know what I mean. Let's think about making improvements. That's not just improvements for ourselves, but let's think about improvements that help the whole. Anyhow, just a little bit of a rambling Sunday morning message. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I guess after all these holidays, it's back to real time tomorrow, the first Monday afterwards. So I hope you have a wonderful upcoming week, and I love each and every one of you. Peace.